Alright, also, a couple of things last night came out in Gekishin Squadra under the news tab, and I want to go ahead and talk about this real quick just because it is very important for the game's future. And if we take a look here, again, we definitely want y'all all to do this as soon as possible. So this is a survey in progress. Just to read through it, in order to make the game even more enjoyable for everyone, we're holding a survey. Players who participate in said survey will receive 5 P1 capsules as a gift. The survey will take about 10 minutes total, they say, and it is 15 questions. So pretty simple, pretty straightforward there. And the survey period lasts for 2 weeks until October 1st, 2025. So very easy to go ahead and get done. I think it's pretty obvious at this point. The season 0 little thing going on right now is just to get a lot of player opinions as well, on top of letting people get used to the game before things really start shifting into overdrive. And if you haven't done the survey already, please go ahead and do the survey. We're gonna do this for the majority of the video after I cover everything else that kind of was in the news. But this is, again, just super important. You want to make sure you go ahead and get this done. Feedback to the devs is very important, and if you want to steer the game into the right direction, we definitely want to make sure that we leave all of that, especially when it comes to Zenny. we'll be bringing up Zenny, chat, no worries about that. Second thing is, it's a little small, but they are actually giving us the Nijisaji broadcast kind of collab here. So we got the 10 capsules. People were a little worried that maybe only for some reason the JP side would get it. Not the case, of course. I think it makes sense, even though it was kind of something really only on the JP Twitter accounts. We did all get the capsules. That's really nice. Then the last thing here is that there's a weekly update. So very luckily, it is confirmed that we will be getting weekly updates for the game, which is already huge. I felt that would be the case, but now we know for sure that we will be getting said weekly updates. So again, it's been a week since the game came out. So now we have kind of the little update here. So the following skins have been added to the shop: the tank top for Super Saiyan Trunks, and then the Demon Clan outfit for Piccolo. If you haven't seen this already, I'll show y'all, but it looks really cool. Then heat things up or play cool with these stylish new skins. Notice regarding trial hero changes. Right now, Trunks, Zamasu, and Majibu Good are all available for trial heroes. Fine with me, it seems like they're going to be changing these up pretty frequently then, if they are going to be weekly updates, so that's very exciting. Now we can go ahead and take a look here, and we could see when it comes to the costumes, they are actually purchasable by just Dragon Gems. So in the network test, you had to summon for these, if I'm not mistaken. Piccolo one wasn't available. This tank top Trunks was. This looks really cool. And then we take a look here at the Piccolo Demon Clan outfit. This is just aura farming like beyond comprehension right now. So this is really sick as well. But yeah, instead of you having to summon for them with the capsules, it seems like you're just going to be able to straight up get them, which is overall probably better, right? Even though we don't know how many Dragon Gems we'll get, very RNG reliant to kind of try and pull these characters. So them just being available in the shop, I just think is good. And if you're focusing really on like 1, 2, or 3 characters that are like your absolute favorites on your mains, I assume you'll be able to save up enough currency to kind of like purchase all their cosmetics and stuff like that over a period of time. We even see that they don't have the Trunk skin here. Was a Trunk skin available here? I actually don't recall at the top of my head, but again, over time they'll add more and more stuff, so we just kind of have to wait and see. They'll be giving us stuff every week, which I think is a good idea. But again, that's pretty much like the little original news drop here. We're going to be taking a look here at the survey, so let me load things up, get into the actual questions, and we'll be right back. All right, so we are here with some of the questions. I mean, please tell us what sources you rely on for news and about your gaming habits. So we see for just like news in general. I assume this is about the game, of course. Pretty much just Twitter for the most part. Yeah, I don't really do anything. Influencer. You already know that's me. I'm gonna put myself. I rely on myself. What could I say? But no. Media, don't really do anything. I guess YouTube, right? We'll do Discord, sure. And other, yeah, okay, that's pretty much it. Sure. This looks good. So for each of the following games, please select the option that applies to you. So any Dragon Ball / PC game. Yeah, of course, I'm like currently playing within the last month. Dokkan Battle. Yeah. Actually, funny enough, I actually haven't played Sparking Zero in a while. A little unfortunate. I'm waiting for the next DLC to come out though. So of course for Dokkan, I literally played it today. So yeah, you know. Mobile Legends Big Bang. I've never heard of this. League of Legends. I haven't played it. Funny enough. Marvel Rivals. Unfortunately, I have played within the last month. Honor of Kings, I have not heard of that either. Pokemon Unite, again, I've heard of that. So I assume some of these might be like, I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure Mobile Legends and Honor of Kings are probably MOBAs. Again, I'm not like mega into MOBAs. I know like some of the bigger titles, but yeah. Let's keep going here. How much do you like multiplayer games? Games with multiple players play together. I actually like them a lot. I think like multiplayer games are always fun. There's a level of like coordination with them, and they're very, very cool. So that's really, really nice. Tell us about your Dragon Ball related interests. So I have read or purchased Dragon Ball manga. Yep, for sure. Went to an event with the convention for the purpose of seeing Dragon Ball content. Yep, that is true. Again, we could probably just click through all of this. Yeah, just at this point, I actually haven't done this, so that's really it. What did you find Gekishin Squadra? I mean, from just SNS related. I'll click this, why not? And then, yeah, I think these two, and then official media, pretty much official announcements. Yeah, and here we'll do all this. We'll do all this. That should be fun, and I'll do this too. Yeah, I've seen some ads. I believe on the top of my head. Either way. Which advertisements, and I'll meet if any convention to play Gekishin Squadra. I mean, you know what? I love this. I love the trailer, so why not? Advertisements on YouTube, X, sure. Streams, announcements are creators. Cinematic trailers are all really sick, man. They did really good. I loved this producer video too. That was awesome. Pretty awesome. Then I think this should be good for me. So this is mostly just like, okay, nothing really too crazy. I think we'll do this. Yeah, I hop in there once in a while, right? So, okay, let's see. This is like an actual question here, I think. Having played, like for us, that's the players, right? Having played the game, please rate your satisfaction level on a 1 to 5 star scale for each of the following categories. 1 star is very unsatisfied, 5 stars is very satisfied here. So, total satisfaction, I would say 4 star. There's a big issue going on right now, and hopefully the devs are able to take notice of that, which is, I'm sure they know about it. Like there's no way that they don't know about it. It's the issue where the game kind of like the servers just have to be improved a little to prevent this. But let me take a look here. Where is the screenshot? It's this one right here. Very unfortunate where this is gonna happen in the middle of a match, right? Where okay, some disconnection happens. Either I'm not sure if it's connection issue on the player's end. I believe it could happen just due to the instability of the servers a little bit, honestly. And what happens here is when you get kicked out and you go back in, you're unable to resume the battle. You have to wait like 15 entire minutes for the battle to actually end in the servers, which is like the max cap for a battle to actually end, like 15, 16, 17 minutes. I mean, we see right here is 16:55. This happened at the very beginning of a match. Like at the very beginning of a match that was going on. Because these guys were able to actually do a little bit of, they did like 3,000 damage to the God of Destruction. It was not a draw, they actually won. I feel like this is really dumb. And the thing about, like how rank works is when you lose, it's very punishing. You lose more points than I feel like you usually do gain when you win. I feel like in a lot of scenarios. So That's great. And then, you know, if there's especially future punishments for like being AFK and stuff like that, that's not good. So I bring this up. This is one of the big issues. Really, like stuff like this, obviously, you know, like these issues are some things that happened during season 0, but this is not uncommon. Actually, this happened quite a few times in a few sessions. So luckily, sometimes I guess, you know, sometimes if you're in the advantage, you basically win because of it. But I feel like this could potentially be an issue that happens if someone disconnects from the game in a certain way, because it happened to me at the end of a match when someone went AFK. So if there's a way to influence this where you're able to basically cause a disconnection when you have even a slight advantage and just win the total game because of this issue, that has to be fixed as soon as possible. I'm not sure exactly how it works, but it's something that happens, and it like that was not in my control, you know. Very unfortunate. Standard battles. I like standard battles. I think that snowball the effect is a bit strong. Cell Junior mechanic has got to be reworked. The Cell Junior Divine Draw is just not good. In fact, you know, we could bring up I know Aizen actually did a tier list for this the other day. Aizen was the previous rank 1 player as well. Let me see here, and I kind of just basically agree with it. Like, I feel like a tier list for those specific things is kind of interesting to do, because I think it's really like a lot of it's dependent on what you're running, like what characters you're using, things like that. But this one right here is this, like, you know, Superstar. I think Superstar and the skill 1 up is pretty fun. I really do like the meatball ones. This one's good too. The cloud ones and the Beerus one is like fine, nothing crazy. A is a bit annoying because I think, I don't know, when it comes to A, pushing the enemies back when they die, or like pushing you back when you die, it's very annoying because it kind of messes with your flow and like how you're doing things. Cell Juniors though, they're RNG spawning. They could spawn wherever. They could spawn multiple times on one side in a row, and then it's like, okay, you just like the game, you know, predicates on being a snowball like kind of effect, which is fine, but the Cell Juniors feed into that like 6 times. It's like, it's very, very, very bad. Cell Juniors alone make this a 4. That's pretty much it. I'm not a fan of the Cell Juniors because it's random. I think if it was a consistent thing where it's like, okay, top left gets it and bottom right gets it at the same time, then in a few minutes top right and bottom left get it, I think that'd be cool. Or like, you know, something similar to that where it's kind of an even playing field, and maybe the first kind of spawn is random and then after they switch back and forth. But being able to be like, oh, top right, and then top left, top right, you know, like that can happen. So land grab, actually fine, fun, but I'm gonna give it a 3-star. The reason why I give land grab a 3-star is because there's no actual rewards to playing it. Of course, you know, rank isn't going to change from it. I think it's fun, like especially when you're in a squad with friends. I did enjoy it. The issue is you don't really get anything from it. Like, I think what this mode should give is some form of like Zenny, or should have missions that you could farm every week, something like that, to give me a reason to go ahead and actually play it. I mean, that could be a thing that's introduced in season 1, but this is a season 0 survey, so I'm gonna go based off of what I know, right? So we'll again do this right here. Previous rating, please tell us the reason why you chose 4-star for satisfaction. I will go ahead and write this out and we'll be right back. I'm just gonna leave a few points here. All right, so I did put a few things in here that I was just, again, thinking about. I might be missing 1 or 2 things, but just a couple of things that kind of take away from me when it comes to kind of how I feel about this. I did put a lot of bad things. I should probably add some good things as well at the bottom, but the Golden Cell Junior spawn feeds into the snowball effect of the game a little too much with how random they appear. Again, like I said, it should be a fixed appearance where, again, they both spawn on one side. One side for each team. One. Team Yeah. I'm trying to like word this better. Wait. Yeah, no, this works for me. Like again, and then rotate to the next lane. Something like this. I think this could work, or maybe again, one top left, other bottom right. You guys get the point. The battle return era again. I feel like having to wait, especially for the entire match to complete, is just really dumb. This needs to be kind of, at least something has to be done to help fix this. And this is the thing I didn't mention earlier, but communication with team members in game has to be improved, right? Again, just more options for clarity on what to do, or an option for an in-game voice chat to better coordinate with your team members if you're crewing with random players. Coordination in this game is, of course, very, very important. And honestly, you know, it makes me, and a lot of people I've seen, not want to solo queue or play by themselves, you know, unless you have others playing with you, which, you know, makes a huge difference, right? And at times I would not play otherwise when I would have, right? And it feels like I said here, you're at a huge disadvantage if you cannot directly communicate with others in an external voice call, things like that. Like you could queue in with random people, and then the other team could have two stacks, right? And that just kind of is a feels bad moment where you're just at such a disadvantage there. We really need some option to be able to communicate in game to other people rather than just the pings, because those unfortunately are not enough. Like at times it's just, we need extra clarity. Ideally it would be funny, but a voice chat, right? And then you can have an option to turn it off if you really don't want to, but there has to be some way of communication. Zenny, again, I talked about this. Zenny should be obtainable through matchmaking. Season 1 and beyond, we'll be able to get more than Season 0, hopefully. I should say, hopefully. But the current rate Zenny is given, and almost feels impossible to reach higher star levels, which have the Dragon Ball collecting cosmetics left behind it. Very least, make cosmetics available elsewhere, like the Dragon Ball collected ones, because that's really the biggest thing. And then Dragon Gems, we know that you can unlock heroes with Dragon Gems. At least that's an option. We need to see how many Dragon Gems are given, which if they don't give enough, that could obviously be in a future update. But Zenny right now is just a big issue. Again, easiest way to fix this, just make it available through matchmaking. Like the more, it makes you want to play the game more. Like if you get Zenny from playing the game, guess what? You'll want to play the game more to get the higher star levels. And the last thing is that bot players, very common to happen. Again, bot players are just bad, and you know, if you get this, you're just kind of screwed over. Like after having played the game, how often do you see yourself playing the game in the future? I'm not sure if I would say every day. I do want to see more, like I would do like 4 to 5 days, so I'm gonna say every day just because I'm a fraud. I'm a fraud here. What points do you think need the most improvements? I forgot to put good things. I can actually go back before I finish it off, but insufficient feelings of cooperation. Yeah, I would say this here. I think it does capture the feel of the Dragon Ball universe. There are not enough game modes. I think more game modes would always be nice, but I'm not really like, you know, oh yeah, I need more. Not enough customization items, not enough heroes, and game controls are poor. I think this is overall fine. I don't really have an issue with these, like a strategy mode. I would say that's not the case. Yes, dude. Oh, that's something that's necessarily the battle feedback. That's just general feedback. But tutorials and other in-game information are definitely lacking. Why can't we see the numbers in game? Like they give us the numbers in the patch notes, but we can't see what the numbers are. My hands are up in the air, right? Battles always play the same. I feel like it is a little samey. It is a little samey. Like it kind of like you get an advantage early on and it kind of plays out very similar, right? Heroes are too unbalanced. I wouldn't say this. Yep, this is true. This is not true, actually. I think they're fine. Moving during battles too fast, I would disagree. Again, okay. Once you have answered other questions, please hit send to finish the survey. So I'm gonna add a few more things here then into this section. But again, let me try to think what else I should add here again, I think like we need more in-game information on how characters work. Let me just write up a bunch more, then we'll be back. All right, I added a few final things that I wanted just to address in general, right? When it comes to this, let me actually bring the OST back a little bit. More information on character stats, numbers. I did talk about this, but again, if you don't know about the game guide, it's not going to be very obvious to find. I'm probably going to make a video talking about, like, you know, things that may be missed when it comes to the game. But really, like, for example, Kalitha's provoked ability. It locks allies' rush attacks and skills onto her, but you really would have to find this out in the middle of a match. Unless you specifically go to the game guide, which I'm sure some of you watching do not even know what the game guide is. It's something in the menu. And then at the very bottom, you can see details for characters, but like some of them are very character specific. Like, and it's not really anything explained too well sometimes. I think that some of these descriptions need to be updated, and we need to really see these things, right? Super Saiyan Goku has to be nerfed. That's pretty much it. Super Saiyan Goku is just too good. He's too strong. Like, I think he's supposed to be a jack of all trades character, but he's like great at everything is the issue. Like, he doesn't really have a true weakness besides like a low HP start of battle, which, you know, all attackers will have lower HP start of battle and be squishy like that. It's the tank's role to have the extra HP early on. Super Saiyan Goku just has to be nerfed. He's just too good. The Spirit Bomb at the end of matches is crazy, man. Like, this guy is insane. Insane. There's a lot of good things though. And I want us to like bring the positivity too, because although there's a lot of issues, the game is very fun and I very much enjoy it. I feel like the game captures the Dragon Ball feeling amazingly well. Amazing job with that. For the most part, characters are very unique and balanced in a way where if you're very good with any character, even like a character I would consider lower tier like Piccolo or Frieza or Bojack, if you know what you're doing with them and you play smartly, you could do very good and look very great and have some really good matches. Some tuning is needed for some of these characters, but for Season 0, I think this is a really good start for the game, and I'm very excited to see what they do for future characters. Aesthetically, game is very beautiful. I feel like it pays respect to the Dragon Ball look. I should add look very well, if I could actually do that. Cosmetics in this game are very cool and unique, and it makes me interested on what is given in the future. Then gameplay overall is very fun, provides a lot of teamwork and smart plays, and high-level matches can really feel close and heavily engaged if you're fighting against another team that knows what they're doing, things like that, right? So while there's issues, the game is very fun. And I think that, you know, if they are able to fix a lot of these issues here, like, again, the game just gets way better. And I think that's going to be really nice to see. But anyways, I'm going to end the video here. We're just going to complete this. I kind of just talked about all of this here. We can go ahead and... Oh, no more than 3 choices. Really? I guess I'll get rid of this one. I'd rather the CPU matches kind of get done. But anyways, I'm going to complete the survey. Thanks all for watching. Be sure to complete this, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.